guys, welcome back. It is the Bravo-ish Talkers. I am Christina, your host, Bravo aficionado who never takes her TV off Bravo.
Hi guys, I'm Ramona, the Bravo historian, because I forget nothing and I hold these Bravo loves accountable.
And I'm Tiana, lover of all things Black Bravo.
It has been a little bit of a rough week for me, so I'm hoping us talking about Bravo and gabbing about Bravo kind of brings me out of the week's funk. But how's everyone else's week been going?
I've been doing esthetician things, but also may have reconnected with somebody that I've been talking to in my past.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is this Detroit?
No.
Oh.
What kind? No.
No.
Okay.
No. Okay. That's exciting.
That is
That's
exciting.
so exciting.
That's so exciting. And then, how's your
I've
week?
been good, but just you guys all know I'm a sales manager in the car business, so this was the last couple days of the month, and that is always our craziest time. So it's been a bit of a week for me too, but we're here.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I would rather do work than kind of what I'm going through. It's like I am severely punishing my 15-and-a-half-year-old who is fucking around and finding out what kind of mom I am. So
Yes, we love punishments around here. I used to be a teacher. I love a good punishment.
So yeah, that's been my week, literally riding his ass and letting him know that, you know, comfortability is not entitled. It's not guaranteed. So with that being said, I've been looking at Bravo. I've been watching my Bravo. There is a lot. There is so much. I'm so excited
This week was a big week.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this episode. But before we kind of dive into the meat and potatoes, we're going to get into the ish of the week.
Yes, and there has been a lot of ish.
So
this
much
week.
ish. The last couple days.
Yes, in particular the last couple of days. But one of the most exciting things that happened this week, ladies, Phaedra picked up the phone
Listen,
when Bravo
I'm so
came
excited.
a-calling.
I can get my triangle. I'm so excited.
Okay. And then today, I don't know if you guys see it. I think they're in Grenada, however you pronounce
Yes,
it.
on the
And they're
girls'
like,
trip.
yeah, the girls' trip. And it was like Shamia, Portia, Phaedra. Am I missing anybody?
Even Cynthia snuck on in.
yes.
I don't know how I feel about that one, but she
Yes.
sure did.
They needed to incorporate some friends of.
Yes. But I didn't see the new girls.
Sure did.
I was like, okay, it's very interesting. So Atlanta got kind of like a semi-reboot, but the people who are rebooting it aren't on. That's
Right.
what I thought.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
it's so
what
funny.
I thought is when I saw like a recent cast picture, I was like, okay, this is going to get clicky a little bit.
I
But
don't know who the new girls are. Like, who
me
are
either.
they? Like,
Why are they relevant? But
Yes.
you know my standard for a housewife. I need aspirational wealth. I want glamour. I want lux. I want all the things. Struggle bus could park on TLC. Bravo, Real Housewives. I need them fabulous. So
That's not
whoever they
this.
are,
They're very Atlanta. That's who they are.
yes, they
Are they?
better
And
meet
insurance, and I
Okay.
think one is like a chef. Don't know the other one.
So they're regional.
Okay.
Okay, got it.
And I mean that if you know Atlanta, then you know Atlanta. They're very Atlanta.
Well, I was excited to see. I'm calling her Dr. Phaedra because that franchise was in the ICU and on life support.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
is
She
she
was coming to
off?
save it.
Is she off of Married to Medicine, or is she going to be kind of cross collabing between the both? Was that confirmed? Because I know they said the hiccup was for her to be on Atlanta. There was like some contractual agreements with Married to Medicine still.
Well, I think it's safe to say that if she has successfully landed on Atlanta, that this is probably her last season, that she's gonna. What is her? I never really got the full link as to why she's a part
Where
of
is her
Married to
medicine, you mean?
There is no medicine, and she
No
was
man,
never
no
married
medicine,
to it,
no
and she's
nothing.
not in the medical field. So I think they just wanted Phaedra back in the fray, and it was just kind of like she lives in Atlanta, and this is the best way that we can incorporate her because Candy's still here. So now that she's gone, and now that Kenya's out of the way, I just feel like Bravo has just been, and NBC has been just keeping her, whether it was The Traders or Girls Trip, several different things.
And
So.
I think too, like Kenya is in the background somewhere. Like,
I'd be shook. I'd be like sick. I'd be so sick.
Yeah.
People have such short attention spans, and like the goodness that is Phaedra on TV, I'd feel like they're not going to miss me. And that's not what I had in my plans.
I
Not at
still
all.
am waiting to find out what that whole thing at Kenya Salon was about, but whatever it is, I just I know that Kenya has to be feeling that it was not worth it.
We should tell her thank you.
Was.
We should tell her thank you for getting Phaedra back on the show.
Yeah, because the entertainment value just
but
went
I'll
up.
take it.
Freaking back together.
Yeah.
Well, in other, Cassie news, and not on the happy side, we saw a couple days ago that Jax Taylor announced that he is going to be taking a break from filming because
I didn't know it was a break. I thought it was just, I'm sorry, I'm in the mental health facility. I didn't see break.
You know what is so funny? Now that I'm thinking about it, I kept hearing breaks, but I'm like, wait, maybe breaks his silence. Maybe he's not taking a break from the Valley. I thought that I read that he was taking a break from filming because he is going for mental health.
Yeah, all I heard was like he was entering. What I read, it was like he was entering mental health. I saw no break. I saw no break from filming. So being the cynical person regarding this, not in real life, but I just feel like this is another big thing for him to kind of drive the storyline to him. First it was him and, Brittany breaking up. They did that right before it actually dropped or aired. And now, while they're taping, it's like taking some time for mental health. So I just think this is just Jax being a good reality star.
I think it's great PR for him. I think that he might not be great at restaurants, but he is good at rehabbing his image before he has any problems. I think that this is very strategic for him, especially when we think about how much of an asshole he could have been season one. Essentially, it seems like you don't like your wife because she gained weight. That's what it seems like.
I think he was a full-blown asshole in season one, and I think that
I thought that was just Jax being Jax. I saw no difference between him and Vanderpump Rules.
No, that is Jax being Jax, but the way he talked to her was absolutely insane. And on one side, it's like, listen, mental health is very real. When people say they're struggling and they need help, you never want to be on the wrong side of history, questioning that, and especially if God forbid something happened to somebody. But you have to acknowledge that what was about to be waiting for him season 2. Well, I can tell you the fact that his wife and child had to go stay in an Airbnb because he refused to
rotate.
Yes,
amongst multiple Airbnb.
Oh, yeah. Yes, because he refused to leave the family home. Okay, what a great guy you are. Having to face the music about the way he was treating her. Danny was also upset with him because he didn't like the way that Jax was speaking about him and Nia's relationship. And so I just feel like, just like in that very last catch-up episode where he was like, I'm going to go see a therapist and blah, 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 because he was trying to change the narrative because he is smart in the reality TV ways. I think that that's what he's doing. Sorry, and I don't mean to be insensitive.
Oh, yeah.
But once again, I think all on brand, right? I think it's all on brand with who Jax is.
Yeah,
and I think also too, it'd be very interesting to see how he navigates this into him being the victim, as he does all the time. And if we remember at the end of the Valley last season, when he's talking about the therapist and he's basically, I didn't want to drive. He's well, you can do
it's far.
You can do virtual therapy. I was just this is a little thin for me, a little thin.
If you wanted therapy, you could have got therapy.
Oh, yeah. No, he's full of shit. This is purely PR.
Yeah, for sure. And it was all over the place. I was just I didn't know Jax was so big in the Bravoverse deal. It was everywhere.
Oh, yeah. And I think the Valley having the success it did, and his bar, whatever, pushed him forward a little more than he's been in recent years since he left.
Not the bar.
Well, but it's got a lot of positive or negative. It's got a lot of people talking.
Yeah.
So
very
anyways,
true.
Be interesting to see how that all shakes out. Well, another storyline that at first when I saw it, I was like, okay, this isn't anything. But when I read the deets, I was like, oh, this is going to be a problem.
You read the deets?
I read the deets.
Oh, okay. I just read the headline, and okay, go ahead.
The headline is, if you have not seen yet, Miss Vicki Gunvalson from Real Housewives of Orange County, the OG of the OC, is getting sued for elder financial abuse. Basically, there is one of her clients who is alleging that Vicki and one of the people who work for Kodo Insurance convinced her to make some very bad investments in some annuities, where she would have to pay these very expensive and these really expensive life insurance annuities where she would have to pay $300,000 a year. And yes, with a certain company. And so, reached out to say like, hey, this is a little bit like, I didn't realize I was going to have to do this. Like, it was heavy sales tactics. She said this wasn't how she wanted to invest her money, but Vicki and this guy Ali convinced her to do it. And when she essentially renegotiated with them, and they were like, all right, we're going to do $100,000 a year. Vicki was like calling her in April of this year to be like, hey, it's time for you to make your payment. And she didn't talk to her, but she called the company directly, and they said, you have no payments due. In fact, you have an excess of about $600,000 from overpayment.
Excuse me?
Yes.
So
now
guilty.
It's like, whoa,
That sounded guilty.
What's happened? And I'm like, I don't know enough about, like, I'm not in the financial world like that. I don't know enough about annuities and how they work and how these middle people work, where you're the client, there's the bank, but then there's this other financial firm that's getting in the middle and arranging everything. But it sounds shady AF.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm going to be looking more to it, because now that I read I'm like riveted and I need to know more. I wish she was on Orange County right now and that this was coming out right now so that she would be forced to explain
But this
herself.
isn't the first time that she's been, I don't know if it necessarily was straight out elder abuse, but not the first time that she has been sued or accused or wrongdoing. Like this, I would say, is starting to become a little bit of a pattern.
What is going on in Orange County?
I know, and you're right. It's not that, like, she had a previous similar accusation, financial elder abuse. So where there's smoke, sometimes there's fire, and it doesn't sound good. And the fact that she has not come forward to defend herself, to set the record straight, and I hope she doesn't do that bullshit about like, oh, well, there's lawsuits involved, so I'm not allowed to speak about it as a reason why she doesn't have to explain herself. I really hope she doesn't pull that card.
But you can say I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Yes, she could.
She could put out a post like Teresa. You know.
Okay.
Okay. Speaking of.
Yes.
This is the second time in the past couple months I've fallen from this mess from Miss Giudice, where she does this post about the first one she put. I don't know if you guys saw this, like a month ago. She did a post, my official statement on leaving the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Of course, I fall for it. I click the link in bio. I click the link in her bio, and it's her saying, I'm not leaving the Real Housewives. And I'm like, okay. So this week she did the same nonsense, saying, I'm out, peace sign emoji, click the link in bio, and you go to it. And it's just her saying, oh, she's going to Mykonos on a vacation with her husband.
Okay, and speaking of that vacation, I think I talked to you about this. Because last week we did before and afters. I really want to do a before and after of when she was on vacation for her honeymoon, how long has she been married? 2 years now?
Yeah,
not that long.
Not that long. And then we put it side by side of the vacation she's on now. And let me just tell you, someone's had some body work done. Like, it is
hair
sculpting, maybe.
It's just like, it's
I
night and day.
also recently saw some of the videos that she took there in Mykonos partying, and I was like, oh, she's doing more stuff to the face and to the lips, and I just look. We don't ever want to like face shame, and we are very pro women and all that, but it's enough, Teresa. Stop with the filter. Not like she's listening to us, but like, well, maybe she might, girl.
You know,
you never know. Well, if you are Miss Teresa, stop with the lip fillers. Stop getting stretched and pulled and stapled within an inch of your life. It's enough.
Yeah,
and don't go see one of Louis' people.
Oh,
please.
Oh, do not. Do not. That was, this is always my favorite segment. I always say this because there's so much we can talk about. There's so much more that's happened in the Bravoverse this week, but we are going to get into the roundup of the week and all the Bravo shows.
Yes.
So with that being said, let's start off with the OC. And with the OC, we had another kind of an ish of the week. We had Alexis and John on Carlos King.
Yes.
We sure did.
I got so mad.
And I mean, I don't know. So we know, we can see that Alexis has this shtick, and it's like, this is my man. I'm going to support him.
My man.
Exactly. And everyone's bad talking him. But I'm just like, pause. You weren't there last season.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, or the season before that. And there are some scenes where he is like really aggressive towards the other women. And they have a right to
And
not
kind of
like
mean
him.
to Shannon.
Yes, and so they have a right to have an opinion, and she's just like, even when she's like, we see her in the scene when she's like playing the flag football, and she's like defending him to everyone, like, you guys don't know him, you don't have the right to talk to him about him this way. I'm going to defend him and get his name right, and I'm like, is he putting you up to this? I'm so confused right now.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Of course, and also because she's not a. Contrary to popular belief, she's not a dummy, and
really?
I think she is. Like she.
Shut up.
If you see the response that the viewers are having, what's in the comments, people are very much Team Shannon and Team.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This was wrong. This was crazy. He looks thirsty, and so I think this is their attempt to, like, how do we change the narrative on what's happening here? And for me though, I just, it's kind of one of those things where I wonder sometimes about these women that get with these guys who have been on reality TV and very publicly in other relationships, and they treat these women like shit. How is that not a cautionary tale for you?
Because I'm different.
To come.
Oh, I can't stand that. And that's what I kind of think about Brittany and Jax. Did Brittany think she was different?
Kentucky thought she was different.
Because this man is consistent. He is the most consistent.
From day dot.
Yes, I preach that to my child, my daughter. Like, don't ever think that you are different. You can change. You can this, like.
Sure.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
not at
look,
all.
people can improve and they can, yes, they can improve themselves. But I just think this was like not 5 minutes ago that he was with Shannon. And so, cautionary tale, look at the way
he wanted to stay
treating
on.
her.
He wanted to stay on the OC. He's like, how do I? He's a modern day Slade. How do I stay on the OC?
And it's crazy because you don't get paid.
Yeah.
So he's not a cast
It's
member.
so he's just like a fame
You
whore.
just want the attention.
Fame whore.
Yeah.
Fame whore.
And I don't believe for a second, by the way, that he was offering her money, like her full salary, not to do the show. Like,
Oh,
beat it.
Absolutely not.
And she'd be a dummy to take that, because it's not just appearing on the show. There's us, by appearing on the show, you get ad revenue and all kind of offers of additional money. Like, come on, like,
You
we're not done.
get reinvented. You
Yes,
get reinvented.
and all of a sudden, all these other streams of income open up for you. So it's like, sell it somewhere else.
And then, so also in this episode, we see, this was my favorite line, my favorite line, Malibu Broke Barbie. Like, I was just like, why are they so mean? Why
Emily is really mean in her interviews so far this year. That was I think that was what Emily said, right?
Yes.
She called Jen that, and I. Not only that line, but then when Gina called her a squatter.
That was mean as well. It's like, because you're squatting, and I'm just like, ouch. And it's like, what gives Gina the right? Gives Gina the right as well.
It's because she walked around with her track showing.
Yeah,
so
she's like, look at me, I got it together, so now I get to.
I was like, you have had your shit together for all of 2 minutes.
Yes.
After we've seen you be a hot mess the last 4 to 5 years. So, pardon me, if there's anyone in this group who can sit high and judge low, that would be Heather Dubrow, maybe Tamara, but like, girl, you are still coming off the struggle bus. So like, I just find it to be so like insensitive and mean, like, I think it's a crazy situation what's going on with Jen and her ex, and that she's the age she's at, and to be able to say, I don't know if you guys saw that, how she was saying like she's never had a credit card.
Yeah, nothing.
That was just
she doesn't
like,
know how to pay bills.
So
like,
I don't know if when you hear that and then you see them kind of pan over to her and Ryan, it is like cringe city for me, because I'm just like, you're never gonna know. You're just never gonna know how to support yourself, because it looks like the same pattern that's happening, and it's like he's like taking care of her and also kind of like her dad figure in a sense. It is gross.
But I also think that there's a difference between like you're in a relationship with a man who financially is paying the bills and having your head in the sand.
And
I
you
know
have
many
kids.
a woman.
5. Oh, shot.
Yeah,
5.
I know many women who, like, you know, they stay home, they take care of their kids, they're taking care of their home. They're not necessarily the quote unquote breadwinners, but they know like family finances. They know where money is being spent. Like they have a brain. They have a credit card with their name on it. Like they're a part of decisions.
That does not look like what is going on here.
I just think this is learned behavior. Like her mother has done this, her grandmother has done this, and like while I do feel like, damn, like can we? Come on, like you got 5 kids, we got to figure this out. You live in California.
She seems like the 6th kid when she's next to him. Like it doesn't seem
you're not
like
wrong.
It doesn't seem like we're kind of equal footing or something. It's just like no, he is not a provider. It's a caretaker.
Yeah.
That's the way it comes off. Speaking of, we kind of touched on Gina a little bit. So we saw Sutton come.
Yeah, I love a crossover.
I hate it. I don't. I'm not the biggest Sutton fan.
Not at all. I
love a crossover. I just love seeing someone where they don't belong in the Housewives. I'm not a huge Sutton fan either, but I love a crossover.
I find the most interesting thing about her is her cat wardrobe, because I like to just see how it's so interesting how you can make cats relevant on clothes. So, but other than that, I did not to be shady, but when they're at lunch,
when it starts like that, not to be shady,
but when they're at lunch and Gina's like, and they go to greet Sutton, and what's the new housewife name? Katie. When Katie was like, oh yeah, she said something about the party, you had so much fun, I saw you at your party, and Gina was like, I wasn't invited, and I was like,
I missed that.
Oh no,
I didn't see her say that.
And then
it was so cringe.
And then Sutton was like, next time, that wasn't my fault, next time. And all I could think to myself was, does Gina and Kathy Hilton belong at the same party?
No. Not only that, why would she have been
you maybe missed the whole thing.
No, I got the connection that her ex-husband from way back owned the place that Gina's husband from way back. But let's be okay. Cap and a time out.
Okay.
That is not how you guys know each other. You mean to tell me that she knows the wives of every man who worked at the entire financial firm? Like, that's not how you guys know each other. You know each other because you're both on Bravo.
Yeah.
And I know that it's the, like, breaking the fourth wall to be able to, like, oh, we know each other in the housewife universe. They could never reference housewives on the housewives. Like, I get it. But I just felt it was unnecessary to even pull those two worlds together. Like, just say, like, oh, a girlfriend of mine. You don't need to acknowledge how you, because, by the way, we all just assume, like, do you not just assume she just knows each other around the Bravo block?
Yeah.
So I think Gina maybe is not aware of the levels of housewife.
It's just, Gina is just, she's too much of a beginner financially to really understand, like in these a
beginner in life. She's too much of a beginner in life.
Yeah. And besides Heather and maybe a little bit Tamra, those girls are not the same category as the Beverly Hills ladies.
Caliber. Mine is Heather.
All of the things. And so
like Brandy was like, it was just like the grace of God when she was on that show.
Yeah, like
the grace of God.
Yes, and to me, it's like Mary Cosby being upset that she didn't get an invite. Like, girl, why would you have gotten invited? So stop.
Yeah. Okay. Well, going over to the desert in Dubai.
Yes.
So. We had to go on kind of like a little bit of a hiatus.
So mad about it.
Yeah, and
still pissed about it.
And Dubai was like really heating up. So we left off girls trip in Bali.
I still do not understand that, by the way. Sorry, I know we were about to break down this. Why is it? Like, what do the Olympics have to... I still don't understand that connection. They're not showing the Olympics
That
on
was
Bravo.
my assumption. Like,
no, I think that is why. Because it's like conveniently after the Olympics are done. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe they just need to push... Okay, now this just occurred to me. New Jersey is a short season. Because we're already about to be at the finale. And so I think they needed to have a little bit more housewife still on once,
I can see that.
like some of the other shows.
everyone has been talking about. Well, that makes sense.
You know what? That's probably what
they
it
want
was.
to. They want to control kind of like what's happening as a popularity.
Yeah.
Because everyone is still talking about New Jersey, and I know like on our accounts, on all of our social media accounts, I was like, I am so tired of talking about Jersey.
Tired, sick, and tired.
But then something else would like come out, and then I noticed like when we're not talking about Jersey, it's not that popular. So,
but back to Dubai.
Back to Dubai. So where we did leave off, we saw Caroline arrive late after flying private.
Child, listen.
And
Where's
I
the
feel
receipts?
like in Fashion Nova's best.
I need the receipts. I need to see pictures of you on this private jet with time and date stamped.
Yes.
I don't believe she flew
PJ
private.
my ass. She flew peanut butter and jelly in economy.
Yes.
What are we talking about?
Right?
But what does she even do for a
was
living?
she trying to just have a moment and a storyline?
She just said that's not making her any money.
No. Okay, we're going to get back to that because I didn't see that. But you could tell just like the type of personality she is. She wanted the moment all on her.
Oh, for sure.
I think the moment they said they couldn't get in contact, I was like, she's going to show up later. Just to make all the cameras pan in one direction when she arrives. It's just
to have that moment where everyone is like, oh, where's Brooks? Where's Brooks?
Yes.
Because also, let's say you decide, you know what, the drama's not for me. I don't want to get into it. Really, these girls are like your close friends, and you don't tell one of them, like, hey, like Sarah seems to be like her closest ally right now. And her whisperer. So the Brooks whisperer, as Stanbury calls her. So you don't tell one of your friends that you're not showing up to the airport of a like. Can you imagine we're all going on a fabulous girls trip, and one of us doesn't show up at the airport, and then we just don't say anything. And the reason is because we're just not sure we really want to.
We were going through some things, and then I took a nap. Didn't she say she like lay down and took a nap? I was like,
okay, but like you say something. You say, look, I don't think I'm feeling it. I don't think I'm gonna go. FYI.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm calling BS on that whole thing. I think she wanted to have a part of the story arc.
Oh, absolutely. But we also see where she's trying to be a little messy at the table when they're all like having, I think, dinner, and she's like once again trying to turn around, be manipulative, play victim, and she's like, you know, Stansbury's not for my healing journey, and I'm just like, I did remember the first episode you said you only went to therapy once, like it's like you're not on a journey.
Stop? What are we talking about?
It was not a journey. It was like a hiccup. It was like a let me try this out. So.
Well, this is the worst behavior that I've seen from her. I mean, granted, we only have one other season to compare it to, but this is the worst like behavior that I've seen. So I would agree with Stanbury. Whatever you're doing, however the healing ain't healing.
The shit ain't working,
and it's actually probably making it worse. Whatever, you know, brouhaha Sarah has you over there burning sage, shaking leaves, whatever. That is not working.
Not the brouhaha.
Girl, listen. I don't need nothing but the blood of Jesus, so I don't believe none of that hocus pocus. I'm done. Like, I don't know what none of that is.
That is, oh my gosh. Well, we are really excited for it to come back. That's all I can say. Like,
very excited.
Very excited. And we will be coming off of the finale, this grand finale of fucking New Jersey. It better be worth it.
The finale of finales.
Yeah. It better be worth it. Because as we're kind of migrating to New Jersey now, we had, you know, all this buildup. All season, it's been this buildup. They've been showing clips of whatever's happened in this finale dinner or whatever, like since the first episode. And then it's like we have the house burned down. So it's like they're just at like a dinner. It's not even like a...
That's an ohm. That's an ohm, right? An ohm. I'm like, gosh, Teresa. Jesus. If you don't have two brain cells to rub together, girl. Because when Danielle has to help you bring the intelligence level up, sorry, no shade, Danielle, but like when she's correct.
The Jersey public school system. I don't know what happened out there.
You mean an omen?
No, that's an ohm.
That's an ohm, girl.
That's what
so
we're gonna keep saying.
Giudice.
But anyway, so we see them now. They're going to like a dinner somewhere, and they're starting to show a little bit more. Where it's like, I think like. Because I thought Teresa and Melissa were always being respectful of each other by just ignoring each other. But we see what they kind of get into some cattiness, and they're saying some words back and forth, like,
oh, yes.
Low, low, low. I was like, oh. So I'm hoping it delivers because the sit down with the attorney.
Oh, what a flop.
Okay, let me admit. Now that's 3 times this bitch has hoodwinked me. I was like, oh, what's this information about Margaret?
No information whatsoever.
Oh my God.
Yes, and not like, oh, well, they were, and it's like, yes, but you and Jen Aiden do the same shit.
Oh, beyond. And it's obvious when you guys do it.
Ex-friends,
Yes.
ex this, ex that. You feed blogs. So it's just so pot calling the kettle and to make it a whole thing. And that's why I love those flowers.
Oh, the flowers were...
I love
the flowers.
Iconic.
The thing about the flowers, though, once again, when you're on these shows, I feel like as a housewife or just anyone's trying to get camera time, you have to strategize. And the fact that Margaret stole her whole entire moment.
Entire moment.
It's like
gangster.
Yes. And then have the camera like pause on the car. Just pause. I'm just like, if this season has not shown how insignificant Teresa is to this franchise, I was just like, oh, this is good TV. And I'm like, don't go away. Don't take them off. But Andy did come out and say, you know, a reboot, probably a whole refresh or a partial refresh. But I'm just like, make some cast changes. I think you're good. Like,
yeah, I see new faces. I want to see some real mob wives of Jersey.
Mob wife, got it. Then we had the men's night.
This isn't Love and Marriage Jersey.
I don't need to see
I
this
don't
much.
need to see it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I didn't like when I thought he was actually going into Rachel Fuda's husband was going into actual when I thought he was going into anaphylactic shock, I was like, oh wow, oh my. But then to find out that he never did in the first place, I was like, this whole scene could have been next week. Extra clips or extra
the whole
extras
ice being rubbed
episode.
over his head. I was like, what is Joe Gorga do? Like,
and to be honest, I blame Carlos King. Carlos, this is your fault. This is your fault.
Oh,
we
that's
wouldn't
right.
have to deal with these men if it weren't for you.
That's right.
You started this whole mess.
Yeah.
Was he the producer who said like let's have more of the husbands?
Yes.
Or I didn't realize that.
And they've really taken it and run with it, and I don't appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I don't mind the hubbies. Like I love that Evan. He's a cutie pie.
I love a good like Patricia.
Evan.
Like instead of Peter, like give me Patricia. Like a little scene with Patricia.
Yes.
But otherwise, I don't want to see it.
But it's the New Jersey husband.
Oh yes, Evan is cute. Yes, Danielle's husband. Yes. I was like, who's Evan?
Not Danielle's husband. That's
Who's Evan?
Jackie's husband.
Oh, he's such a dope. Like I can't. Like he just done talk.
But Danielle's husband is a hottie patati.
Yes, I thought you were talking about him. Yeah. I mean, just the fact that he lets her run around looking an idiot. I was like, get your wife. Like, serious.
I was just like, this is the most I've ever heard Margaret's little mouse of a husband talk, though. When he was like, we're calling the number. I was like,
yeah.
Is that Margaret's husband?
I was like, who is that? I was
I've
like,
never
literally,
heard
who
his
is
voice
that?
before. He's normally just running around holding Margaret's purse. So, I could have done without that scene.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we definitely do have other shows that we could talk about and really get into, like the $1 Million Listing and Below Deck of it all. But to be honest, I feel like they're kind of like snooze fest.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we did see a little bit of like Tracy, going through the emotional blues, which was sad. And
I guess it was sad.
Okay.
Honey, what did you think? I love Tracy. She is my favorite on
She's
that
great.
cast. I love and adore her. But girl, a 28-year-old ain't good for nothing but a drive-by. Do not try to wife him.
Literally. And move him in with your kids. Like, these midlife crises have gone too far between her and Caroline.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not
get
here
married,
for
though.
these 20-somethings with the 40-somethings. Like, I just don't, I just think they're always going to end up like this. You need like, you know, somebody who's a little more at your level, and because she's such a boss in her everyday life. Like, I love me some Tracy Tudor. I just think that was a bad match to begin with. But no, I'm with you. Like, I feel so bad because, look, $1 Million Listing, Below Deck, like these shows just do not bring the entertainment value and drama, well, the drama that the Housewives do. But I love those shows. But you know what I love them for?
Filler.
Being on my little iPad while I'm cooking. And I love watching them while I'm doing that. Other than that,
it's like filler. It's like in the background.
Yeah,
it's kind of like,
while I'm at the nail shop, I'll watch it.
Yeah, let me see kind of like what's going on. But not really kind of like, this is, I've got to make sure I watch. I got to make sure I look.
It's not appointment television.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, well, I guess, Tiana, what is your kind of like take here on all this episode?
I think this week, with everything that we've seen come on our TV screens and all the news that's been all around social media, ladies on the Housewives, from Jersey to the OC, if you are not capitalizing on your time while you are here on our television
Jeff
screens,
Lewis. Okay, come through, Jeff Lewis. That's the same.
I don't know what to tell you, but
that's the same thing he said on his show.
You know, I hope that Teresa's scumbag
don't quit your day job.
Don't catapult her into Kim Z-like financial woes.
Yes.
But honestly, we might need to add Teresa's husband to our latest episode for episode 14. A toast to the scumbag.
Little preview.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, everyone, thanks so much for definitely tuning in with us today. Don't forget to, you know, follow us and like us, chat with us, and leave comments and do all the things on our social media. We would love to hear from you, and we also love to interact with you. But thanks so much for tuning in to our episode of Bravo Ish Talkers.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
I've been a nasty girl, nasty. I've been a nasty